So as you probably know by now, Rage Against the Machine is back. They announced a few dates out on the West Coast a couple of months ago, and then we now have a full world tour from Rage Against the Machine, which has to be their first major tour in well over a decade, which is very exciting stuff. Quite honestly, I never thought that we would see the day where Rage Against the Machine is back as a full-time band. That is really impressive, and I am still sort of letting that sink in. And today, in honor of Rage Against the Machine being back, I want to talk about what led Rage Against the Machine to go away for such an extended period of time to begin with. And as we celebrate Rage Against the Machine's rich history, it's an interesting look back at what kept them from us for all these years. So here are the dates. They're starting on March 26th in El Paso, Texas, going all the way to September in Poland. I'm sure there may be some more dates for that. So over the last couple of years, the members of Rage have been very outspoken and very much self-reflective about what led up to that split with the members, which did end up giving us Audioslave, which is definitely one of my favorite bands of all time. And guitarist Tom Morello said a couple of years ago in an interview that he was at least partially responsible for the reason the band broke up. He said, "I'll put myself first and foremost. It was a lack of emotional maturity in being able to deal with people, each other as people. We had a political vision and the shows never suffered, but we just couldn't agree on stuff that unearthed feelings that made it hard to make records. I think there were competing visions for what it was, should be, and competing feelings about what it was to be in the band that we didn't deal with. My version of the band was, let's make a record every 6 months. Let's be political Led Zeppelin and let's overthrow the government and make the best records we ever did. By Wednesday, go." In that pursuit, I was not always sensitive to the members' needs of my band members, the emotional needs rather, and everybody has their role in it, but that's where I contributed to the chaos that eventually ended the band. But I will say this, my glass half full version is, for a band that had extremely combustible elements to be able to have made 4 records, to be able to play the shows we did, I think it's a miracle. That's Tom talking in a 2018 interview, and the band did reunite a few years after they broke up for a 2007 Coachella performance, and they did a few very sporadic dates after that, but nothing since. And now we have the most activity from the band in probably 10 to 15 years. Here's an article titled "The Last Days of Rage," taken from Rolling Stone, that chronicled what was going on at that time. And it says, on the morning of October 18th, guitarist Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine got a phone call from vocalist Zach De La Rocha, who told Morello he was leaving the band. There was no room for discussion. The singer issued a press release announcing his exit later the same day. He tried to call everybody that morning, Morello says a few weeks later. Just got me. De La Rocha also contacted bassist Tim Comerford, an old friend from grade school, but did not connect with drummer Brad Wilk. I don't believe he and Brad have spoken yet. And De La Rocha's full statement from that day in October of 2000 when he announced he was leaving the band reads as follows: "I feel that it is now necessary to leave Rage because our decision-making process has completely failed. It is no longer meeting the aspirations of all 4 of us collectively as a band, and from my perspective, has undermined our artistic and political ideal. I am extremely proud of our work, both as activists and musicians, as well as indebted and grateful to every person who has expressed solidarity and shared this incredible experience with us. I am just excited that Rage is seemingly fully active once again, and I don't know about you, I thought this was never going to happen, and I am very excited to see that it has. But what do you think? Are you going to be going to a Rage show anywhere on these massive world tour dates that just released today? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on. You can also rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Anyways, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.